Director of photography, that's such an important relationship. And in this podcast of the Set to Screen series, we're going to spend time with Mandy Walker.
I'm in charge of the photography on the film, and that means the camera, grip and lighting department and the way the film is photographed.
I liken the director of photography to a conductor of an orchestra. When doing an opera, for example, the relationship the director has with the conductor in finding together the rhythms and the drive of the drama, that's the same sort of relationship you have with a director of photography when it comes to the visual realization. Because it's not just pictures, it's also the coverage, it's how you amplify or clarify the staging, it's a philosophy, it's an extremely important relationship. And you know, when you're out in that set every day, your number one partnership is with the director of photography.
In terms of Baz, for my job, it's fantastic because he is such a visionary, and my job is about the vision. And so his ideas and his way of explaining to me how he wants the scene to feel, or the emotions that he wants the audience to feel at that point, or what the actors are going through, is such a wealth of information for me, because I can then feel that I can deliver, or attempt to deliver something in those terms.
I tend to collaborate with Catherine Martin, my production designer, very early on in the development of the visual language. At a certain point, we need to bring the third equally important player into that relationship, and that's the director of photography.
They always gather together a huge amount of reference and ideas that they've been honing in that this film, should look like and should be. So at the time that I come in, I start to get involved with them in assessing that and working out how, in terms of my job, I can achieve that vision. We shoot tests and we go on recce's and take lots of photographs, and CM would incorporate them into composites where they'd put the actors in, and that's what I do in prep, is just hone in into what this film is from all this information.
I think it's been great for Mandy and all of us, working with someone who has that vision of how it should look, right down to the finest point, which Baz and CM do.
We'll see. Dave, this is good because what it is he goes like this, he goes like that, right? Then he goes like, this is the cut. Turn slowly, Mandy. Turn, boom. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're on a set in a really simple way, the pressure is always on to get the shot. And the first thing you've got to do is to set the shot, decide where is the camera going to be. So the conversation you have is with the director of photography. You've usually got it worked out, but you've got to deal with either the situation or there's a changed plan. And particularly in the way I worked on this film, a lot of it came out of the development of performance. So things would change. After I have that conversation with the director of photography, Mandy Walker would then go to Sean Conway, her gaffer, and it's the same kind of relationship. Mandy and Sean working in tandem to come to a determination as quickly as possible as to how the camera was going to move and the scene would be lit.
It's the only place I've ever wanted to be, is right beside the camera. It is where all the action is, where the acting is happening, and I think that creates its own special, magic right there on the spot that you don't get, anywhere else but where the camera is. We're trying to do a Lucas and lean approach to filmmaking, being that the wide stuff is shot on location, all the beautiful scenery, wide shots, and then we come back onto stage and we do the Lucas part of it, which is a lot of the time against a blue screen.
Or a set.
And we need to take what was shot outside and try to match it and combine the two into something that's seamless, that you feel like you've been out on location the whole time.
I've always wanted to mate an English thoroughbred with a bush Brumby.
Just drive.
Cut. Very good.
For Baz and the actors, you have more control, and we can set up a sunset shot that we can shoot all day. We feel we've succeeded, don't we?
Yes.
we see rushes, and some people ask us which is location and which is stage, and so we're we feel that really great about that.
You know, I love that it's still an old-fashioned thing, that it's still, you know, a vital way of watching, you know, entertainment today. I just think it's so great that it is oldie-worldy, but it still really is, you know, an old-fashioned way of doing it. It's lighting a face or a set to look great, to, you know, to working with a script. There's the full technology, you know, part of it that you know, I love using as much as anyone. And if the film's right, I'll take that on board. As long as you can get great pictures and tell the story, I think it doesn't really matter what the technology is.
So you go through pre-production and lots of discussions and planning, and the moment that it gets put on the celluloid is that point. And all these people have been working weeks and days and months and about pulling things together, and that is the actual moment of that coming together of all those elements, and the actors are on set and the performance, and it's the most important time.